Lions fans, the 2024 season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in franchise history, with a real shot at competing for a Super Bowl. But before we get too carried away, there's a crucial issue we need to address: the wide receiver group. The depth in the lineup and even the starters raise significant questions. If you're just as excited about the possibility of seeing Devonte Adams in Honolulu Blue and want to keep up with all the latest Lions news, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, you'll get the latest updates, detailed analyses, and everything you need to stay informed on our journey to the Super Bowl. Jameson Williams, projected to be the team's number 2, still needs to prove his worth after 2 years in the NFL. Additionally, Khalif Raymond, who is slated as the primary outside wide receiver, doesn't quite fit the typical profile of an ex-receiver, and Coach Dan Campbell has preferred to limit his snaps so he can contribute in other areas. In this scenario, Ian Valentino from the 33rd team proposed a bold trade, bringing Devonte Adams, the star of the Las Vegas Raiders, to Detroit. In return, the Lions would send Williams and a 2025 second-round pick. Valentino believes that Adams, even at 31, still has a lot to offer. He comes off 4 consecutive seasons with over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns, despite the struggles of the Raiders' offense. For him, adding Adams to the Lions' explosive offense could be the final piece of the puzzle for a championship run. The Lions' salary cap is healthy enough to accommodate Adams' base salary, and contract adjustments could make it even more favorable. For the Raiders, this trade would relieve their finances by over $17 million in 2024, while also opening up $36 million in 2025 and 2026. Betting on Williams' potential is what makes this proposal attractive to Las Vegas. While this trade wouldn't solve all of the Lions' depth concerns, it's the kind of move that could make all the difference in the pursuit of a title. Sure, giving up a second-round pick is a sacrifice, but who will care if Adams, with his experience and reliability, leads us to the Super Bowl? Adams had a challenging 2023 season, but that was more a matter of environment than talent. Even with the Raiders' quarterback issues, he still amassed 103 receptions for 1,144 yards and 8 touchdowns. He wouldn't just be a temporary addition. Adams still has 2 more years on his contract, albeit without guaranteed money. It's likely that the Lions would need to adjust his contract to keep him happy long-term. While it's unlikely the Raiders would make a deal before the season starts, this is a proposal that certainly deserves consideration. A second-round pick, a young talent like Williams, and financial flexibility could be exactly what Las Vegas needs to move on without Adams. So, what do you think, Lions fans? Would Devonte Adams be the missing piece for the Lions to reach Super Bowl glory? If this trade does go through, we're talking about a move that could redefine the Lions' future. Devonte Adams isn't just an elite wide receiver. He's a player who knows how to deliver in the biggest moments. His arrival would bring a new dimension to Detroit's offense, offering a constant threat on the field and creating opportunities for other talents to shine, like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta. Imagine Adams, with his ability to run impeccable routes and make difficult catches, working alongside Jared Goff. The immediate impact would be evident, with the Lions potentially becoming one of the most feared offensive units in the NFL. Just having such a reliable and experienced target could elevate Goff's game and give Coach Dan Campbell more flexibility in his offensive strategies. Of course, the trade would also put considerable pressure on the team. By giving up a second-round pick and a young receiver like Jameson Williams, the Lions would be going all in on the present. But when you're so close to achieving something great like a Super Bowl, these are the kinds of decisions that need to be made. After all, the window of opportunity in the NFL can be short, and bold moves are often what separates champions from almost there. For the Raiders, the trade would represent a change in direction, embracing youth and financial flexibility. But for the Lions, it would be a clear sign that the franchise is ready to bet big and pursue the title with everything they've got. Devonte Adams could be the catalyst that propels Detroit to the top of the NFL. So, fans, now is the time to think big. If this trade happens, are you ready to see the Lions make history? Adams in Honolulu Blue, catching game-winning passes in January, could be the image that defines this new era. After all, as the saying goes, to win big, you have to bet big. And with Adams on the team, that bet could very well be worth a Lombardi. As a Lions fan, I can't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension when thinking about this potential trade for Devonte Adams. On one hand, the idea of bringing in such a high-caliber wide receiver is too tempting to ignore. Adams is the kind of player who can completely transform an offense, especially ours, which has already shown flashes of brilliance but still lacks a piece that solidifies our aerial threat. Adams' arrival would be a powerful statement that the Lions are ready to compete for the Super Bowl now. Imagining him alongside Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Sam Laporta, with Jared Goff at the helm, is something that would make any fan dream big. We wouldn't just be adding talent. We'd be bringing in experience, leadership, and a winning mentality that could be the difference maker in crucial games. On the other hand, it's impossible to ignore the price we'd be paying. Jameson Williams is young and full of potential, and there's always that hesitation in giving up a second-round pick, especially when thinking about the long-term future. But at the same time, the NFL is a league where winning opportunities can be fleeting. If the chance to win a Super Bowl is on the table, we can't afford to be timid. Adams has proven year after year that he's still one of the best at his position, and his presence in Detroit could not only improve our offense but elevate the entire team. And for us fans who have been waiting so long for a season of glory, seeing the Lions finally take a big risk for such a huge reward would be thrilling. Sure, there are risks involved, but as a fan, I say let's go all in. If this trade brings us closer to lifting the Lombardi, then I'm all for it. This could be the moment we've all been waiting for as Lions fans. If the Lions make this move, I'll be on the front lines, cheering with everything I've got for Devonte Adams to be what takes us to the top.